And I just wanted to start this off by saying welcome to DMMR Podcast. I'm going to hand it over to Mike because he's normally the one that starts everything off. So, Mike, you go.
And I am back, Mr. Podcasty McNasty, doing it solo again this time. And I've actually decided that I'm just going to rename the podcast. I know y'all like the Podcast McNasty thing. So we're actually going to rename it from DMMR to the McNasty Cast. And this week, we are talking about how to fold your sheets without getting wrinkles in them. Like, you take it out the dryer and then you're trying to get it upstairs. So that's what I'm talking about here, solo by myself today. As you know, Dijon is no longer with us, but I feel that he's still here in spirit. But we have to move on. We have to. We have to move on. There's no choice. We have to move on. Oops. This was the time when you came back, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm
I was
actually
looking at the wrong script. That was
that's wow, kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing. God. As I was saying, as he was saying, as we were saying, I'm here, I'm back, and I know that you guys missed me because I am in no, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I'm no longer where I was. I'm in a brand new place now.
Speaking of that, what have you been up to since the last time we recorded an episode, which I think it was like 4 months ago, if I remember right. Together, at least. I did do that solo episode last month.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did a solo episode myself. It's just locked in the vault.
Ooh, like episode 0.
Yeah. We don't
talk about that. We don't talk about episode 0.
So, lately, well, there's been a big change in my life. No, I'm not pregnant. So don't assume that.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. I read your mind. You did.
I didn't.
The change that has been to my life. No, I'm not married. Not yet. Coming soon, though. The change is that I have moved from the great, beautiful state of Maryland.
And I am, just to remind everybody, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Go ahead.
I am now staying in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, I know that it must be such a downgrade from Maryland. It must be difficult coping. The scenery is just not as good there. It's not.
See, actually, it's a huge upgrade. The scenery is way better. Just saying.
Oh, no, I understand. Back when I worked at Lilly and Vernon in the training video, they actually mentioned that Virginia Beach is pretty much like the Los Angeles of the East Coast, and, that's where I'm at. So I've already experienced how, I pretty much lived in LA my whole life, and by that, by those standards.
Someone lied to you. Yeah, no, LA it's wonderful. It's great. It reminds me so much of being back home in Florida, honestly, but it's like Florida upgraded, it's like Florida with the Hollywood sign in my backyard. And in Florida, I didn't have a Hollywood sign in my backyard. I had snakes and alligators. But, yeah, it's been so great. It's been a huge journey. I am so happy. This is now my this is now my 4th month here. And honestly, I love it so much. Like, I'm just like, I never want to leave. And I probably never will. So yeah, it's been really, really awesome. I feel like I've run across so many opportunities, since I've been here. Yes, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so that has certainly affected the film department. But, I have been working on a few things. I have a business manager now. and about to get things really taken off with my books, which I'm so excited about. And I'm working on a secret project that I'm not going to reveal all of it, but I'll just say that the project involves my books and it involves videos. Yeah. So it's going to be super awesome. If any of you have checked out my book trailer, then it will be something similar to that. However, it will not be a book trailer. If you haven't checked out my book trailer, feel free to go check it out on YouTube, Freedom Arts, or you could just go to freedomarts.com, scroll down, you'll see the book trailer. Um, Oh, speaking of my book trailer, there's another new thing I have. Oh my god, I have so many new things in store for you guys. And I'm so excited to share all of them. And I promise you, you're gonna see all of these things within the next coming weeks. My schedule is jam packed. It has been jam packed, honestly. Like even as we speak right now, I'm like trying not to fall asleep. Um, yeah. So that's basically what I've been up to. That and learning foreign language. Yo hablo en español. Um, so it's been great, really great. Life is good. Drake was
Oh,
telling the truth.
the best thing is, which I saved because I know that I specifically talked to you about this, and I know that you wanted me to mention this on the podcast. But now we get to say, for the first time, we are coming to you from VA to LA.
Yeah,
I know you
boy,
really,
I really looked forward to that.
I
Whew.
know that you wanted me to say that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I like it's pretty much the same. It's like Virginia Beach and LA are pretty much the same thing. It's like
No,
literally
no,
like they both have beaches.
yeah,
They both have buildings.
yeah,
People live there. Like it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
yeah.
Um,
That's the similarity stopped there. Yeah.
no, it's been awesome. It's been awesome hearing about all the stuff you've been doing out there. But I've been keeping it under wraps because I didn't want to spoil when you came back and everything to the podcast. But what I've been up to because I just be on YouTube all the time. But I recently had my 2 year anniversary of the Mike Text It Out channel, and I did a live stream, which everybody showed up extremely late for, as usual. Um, and it was a lot of fun. I want to do more live streams and kind of incorporate that into maybe my video schedule. Like I'm thinking about either doing like a Friday night live stream or something like that. I just have to figure out. I don't want to do it unless I have something that I can do or talk about every week. But there are a lot of things that I could talk about that maybe aren't enough information for a video, but maybe I want to talk about. So I'm thinking about kind of incorporating that. And great news, everything on my channel has been down lately. Subscriber count has been the lowest it's ever been in over a year. As far as the watch time and all that stuff has also been down too. What?
Um, that's you, you said it's been down, as in like.
Yeah. Literally, it's been like the worst in over a year. But let me tell you why that's good, because for the longest time there's been one video on my channel that's been really popular I think it has over 50,000 views now, and that's really gotten most of my views and my subscribers
Mm.
in there, but it's starting to like fade in popularity now, and so I think that's why everything's been down. But it's good because the whole 2020 year was kind of me rebuilding the channel and kind of establishing what I want to do going forward. Because the first year was very much like me just like if I bought something new, I got to do an unboxing for it or something like that. Where this, like recently, I would say within definitely the whole year of 2020, it was a lot more strategic because I started 2020 and I was like, well, I'm out of ideas, and I had to make something that was sustainable in the future. So the fact that the views and stuff are down is actually good because that means that one video isn't supporting the whole channel anymore, which I always hated. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting subscribers and stuff, but it's mainly because of this one video. I want people to watch my stuff now, like what I have going on now. So that's why it's a good thing, and I'm going to continue to build off of that. So I mean, I know it'll go back up eventually, especially because it was honestly a lot of it's probably because of the holidays.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, that's what's been going on with the channel. So like I said in my live stream, I'm not focused on subscriber count anymore. I'd like to get to 1,000 because that's when you can start monetizing at 1,000. But I'm not in a rush for it. I just want to make the best content and have a more coherent channel. So that's what I've been focused on, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and also I got a camera cage that's been really cool too.
Ooh.
I can't show it because I'm using it right now because I'm using the actual camera. But if you're not familiar with it, it's just like if you have like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, which most likely if you're doing video, it'd be a mirrorless camera. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like a cage you can buy, and it's you screw your camera in there, and then it has a bunch of screw holes around it, and you can just attach a bunch of accessories to it. Like I got to the point where I was attaching so much stuff to my camera every time it was a pain, and I was like, I really need to get a camera cage. And there was this guy I watch on YouTube. He had an old video; it was like 3 years old. His channel was like DSLR video
Mm-hmm.
shooter, but he talked about like cheap camera cages you can get and kind of the advantages of it. And basically, it's like you can just slap a bunch of stuff up there and have it ready to go. So now I have my
Mm-hmm.
monitor screwed on there. I have my microphone ready to go. I even have because I have a remote shutter and that's even on there. So like in case I need it, it's all just there, and all I gotta do is just put it up or pull it out, pull my batteries out, and just stick them in, and everything's ready to go. So that's been really nice. It's gonna help a lot with like doing my videos. It's literally gonna save me probably like 10 or 15 minutes to set up, just not having to set all that stuff over the camera every time.
Mm.
So that's what I have been up to since I recorded the episode last month, which check that out because I was doing my dang solo dolo, and I talked about a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of stuff that I don't even remember. I know I talked about the graphics card thing, like graphics cards being it was everything sold out. That's what I was talking about, and
Yeah.
I did do a follow up video on that actually that dropped last Wednesday on my channel about how to buy a graphics card right now if you really need one. So if you've been
Mm-hmm.
considering buying one, go check out that
Mm-hmm.
video.
Yeah, it's a good video. I actually just watched it a few days ago. I've been a little bit late on watching your videos. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just because sometimes I'm like busy and I forget to do things. And yeah. Um, so I have a question for you, Mister. Why are you wearing a bra on your head?
These are the elusive Apple AirPods Max available at the low price of $550 if you can find them at all.
Look, look, low
I'm work
price?
I'm working on the review still. Like it's probably not going to be next week because I still have mixed feelings about them. So, but yeah, I mean they're actually not overpriced. I will say that. And I said that before. They're not overpriced. Because if you look at the outside of this is aluminum, and then the whole frame is stainless steel, and even like the higher end headphones like the Boses and the
Mm-hmm.
Sonys, they're all
Mm-hmm.
made of plastic. So just the material cost alone is does kind of justify the price. Also, I like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that the ear cups are removable, so you can actually like buy different colors if you want to, and also ear cups get dirty and wear out over time, so that's really going to add to the longevity of it. To being able to change out the ear cups, because like even my Sony ones that I think I had it for like a year and a half, but the ear cups are like gross, and it's like, well, I'm kind of stuck with it, like either trying to clean it and possibly like risk damaging the headphones, or just kind of living with it being gross. So
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that it has interchangeable ear cups, and the sound quality is just as good as those headphones, like the
Mm-hmm.
Sony WH-1000 XM4s and the
Mm-hmm.
Bose 700s. But that's part of my criticism is like it's just as good. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
little like teeny tiny bit better, but you're paying like $150 for it. So it's kind of one of those things where if you care about the build quality, these will probably overall last you longer just because they're built like tanks,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the interchangeable ear cups, but that's a lot of what you're paying for with these headphones. So that was like a sneak preview of like where I am so far. There's a lot more like stuff that I have to talk about with these headphones, but yeah, I mean they're all right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really think they're overpriced because I may be a little bit more of an Apple fan than I am of, Android. So I'd be willing to pay for them. They're not necessary for where I'm at in my life right now. But speaking of Apple, I am really excited because I only have a few more months left so I could pay off my iPhone 11 Pro so I can get a 12 Pro. Okay, after looking into it, I really want to get a 12 Pro Max because even though I hate bricks for phones, um, the camera on the 12 Pro Max is apparently better than the camera on the 12 Pro, which is different than how the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max was. Because I think with 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max, the camera is the exact same.
Yeah,
Um,
because they actually put a bigger sensor in the 11 Pro Max this year, which makes sense because for the longest time I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of having this big phone if there's no advantage to buying it other than it being big? Because then it's just inconvenient unless you want a big phone.
yeah.
But at least they finally did something with the Max, which I was kind of happy with. I still opted for the Pro because for me the size is the most important. Plus, I don't use this as my primary camera anyway. But I
Mm-hmm.
can understand like if that's going to be your primary camera, then going with the Pro Max. But the camera up here is great. When is your will you be able to get a new phone?
I think in May,
Like when is
if
your
I'm
thing?
correct.
May. That's gonna be tricky because you could get the 12 Pro, but typically Apple comes out with a new phone every September, so it might be worth just waiting at that point to get whatever. I don't know if they're gonna do a 12s this year or if they're gonna do the 13 out. And some Apple's weird with their um, numbers, but it might just be worth waiting for until they drop their new phone at that point.
Thank you for saying that. That's probably exactly what I'm gonna do. Um, that's I love the fact that Apple knows how to release phones. I feel like Samsung could take a lesson from them. How do you feel about that?
So I actually just finished watching Samsung unboxed earlier today. I'm late because I had a lot of stuff going on this week. I was considering doing it for my video on Sunday, but I decided to go with something different because for the most part, I just feel like this year Samsung's phones were kind of boring. They kind of looked very similar to last year, and there weren't that many new features. But the thing is that I kept getting from the conference was I just kept feeling the direct comparison to Apple, and I'm like, look, if you can't do the ecosystem like as a whole as good as Apple, just don't keep comparing yourself to Apple. I know that's our main competition, but Samsung's phones are really good for what they are, and they're not iPhones, and their integration is not as good, or it's not the same as. I don't want to say their integration is not as good. It's not the same as Apple's integration because they don't have the same product lines that Apple does.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't really have a strong laptop. They don't have like a MacBook Pro equivalent. They don't even have an iPad equivalent. Like they have the Galaxy tabs, but no one buys their tablets. Like no one buys Android tablets in general. So they don't have like the ecosystem that Apple does, where like a lot of the stuff makes sense. Like they announced their Galaxy Bud Pros, which are competing with the AirPods Pro, and then they touted how like, oh, it has a separate subwoofer and blah blah blah, so the sound's gonna be better. I'm like, okay, well, and then they're like, you can seamlessly switch between your different products. I'm like, yeah, but who realistically has a Samsung phone and a Samsung tablet, let alone any kind of Samsung computer? Like that's not even a thing to tout with a
Do they
Samsung
even
related
make
device.
computers?
I think they make. I know they make Chromebooks. I used to have a Samsung Chromebook. I don't know if they make actual. And then they have the stupid Dex thing where like you could. It's not stupid. I mean, it's all right. I haven't actually tried it myself. It seems all right where you can take your phone and it has like a dock and you can technically use it as like a desktop type experience. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they have some integration with Windows, but I don't know how far that goes. So I don't know if that will work on like a Windows computer or
Mm-hmm.
not, like as far as automatic switching. But like if you have
Mm-hmm.
AirPods, like even the Max or the AirPod regulars or the Pros, like if I start doing something on my MacBook, then it'll automatically switch or whatever. Or if I
Mm-hmm.
do something on my iPad, it'll automatically switch to that. So that's the similar integration that they're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like they don't have the products to where that's meaningful. So I'm like, it's cool that it can do that, but it's not something to really tout, especially if you're comparing it to Apple. The one thing that I'll say that's cool about them is they're
Mm-hmm.
stealing the feature from the AirPods, which is spatial audio, and that's basically where it simulates like surround sound with the headphones, which that's not new. Headphones have been able to do that forever. But like, let's say
Mm-hmm.
if your phone's over here, or you move your phone or whatever, your head, it'll keep the audio where the screen is. So like the front, like it's gonna sound like it's coming from over here if my phone's over here, like over this side of my face or whatever. I actually tested it; it's pretty cool. So they're actually stealing that feature from Apple, which is good because that means that because right now there's a very limited amount of content that supports it because right now the AirPods are the only headphones that do that. And so
Mm-hmm.
since Samsung's coming out with like an equivalent feature, that means that there's going to be more content to support it. So I'm actually happy about that. And
Oh, that's impressive.
so I don't have an issue with like people stealing from each other, but I'm like you can't do the whole ecosystem thing like Apple, and their
Yeah,
ecosystem is different. Like it's just not the same.
yeah. No, I understand. I actually don't have a problem with people stealing either because, to be completely honest with you, Nintendo stole my heart whenever I start seeing all these data leaks about them coming out with this new Switch Pro, which I have been saying for a long time that the Switch Pro was going to be a thing. And now it's starting to prove itself to be true. The Switch Pro is going to be a thing. Within the next few months, it's going to be a thing.
Yeah, I did a video on it based on the leak
Mm-hmm.
that got out there where someone found information in like the firmware, kind of hinting towards a more powerful Switch. I don't know if they'll call it the Pro though. I mean,
No, that Jesus, no, they're not. I feel like that's just like a industry term. Like when people came up with like, I'm like Nintendo never calls their stuff Pro. It'll be like new Nintendo Switch. You know,
yeah,
that will
I think
most likely be the name of it.
the funny thing is when I think about it, the only one that used the Pro aside from like Apple, like a gaming wise, was PlayStation, the PlayStation 4
Yeah.
Pro. Like Xbox did the Series X, which their name was equally as stupid. The Series S and the Series X. Like, why would you pick two letters that sound so similar? Like, no one with a list was gonna be able to pronounce either one correctly. They're just gonna go to the store and be like, I want the Xbox Series S, and they're like, and then they're gonna end up with the cheap one, and they're like, no, I want the Series S, and then like that's what this is. It's it's a bad
I want the Series S.
name. No S.
S. I'm asking for the Series S.
And then it's like then they just carry it over to this current generation. It's so stupid. So yeah, I just hope that they don't go with Pro. I don't see them going with Pro because
That
they're a casual gaming company. Like they're not.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't even say stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be called, like I said, like the new Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo Switch U. Um,
Mm, mm, mm.
Nintendo Switch Up. Ooh, I like that. Switch Up. You know. Uh,
Realistically, I feel like there's two names. There's one or two names they're gonna land on, which will be the new Nintendo Switch, or if
mhm.
the screen's bigger, then it'll be like the Switch XL.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be the new Nintendo Switch. Um, but yeah, so they're saying, of course, it's gonna have 4K output. Um, I don't know. I feel like the 4K is literally like the main part about it, and they're gonna clock everything at a higher rate. So games are gonna run a little smoother. So for those people who have or are interested in like Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, um, you'll be able to play it without the lag. I know like that's been a big part of the complaint about Hyrule Warriors is that it lags a lot. I don't personally have the game yet. I planned on getting it, but as I'm talking about this, it's kind of coming to me like I think I'm just gonna wait until this new Nintendo Switch comes out. Cause I love my Switch so much. Actually, I have it with me. Hold on. I love my baby so much, but of course, if you guys remember our other videos, special edition, cause we don't do cheapness over here. But yeah, you know, I feel like God, what was I going with my brain? Oh, okay, I remember. I feel like with it being everything being clocked at a higher rate, it's gonna be a lot smoother to play some of my favorite games because I tend to like games that are more graphically powerful. So I love Breath of the Wild. Of course, you guys know you've probably heard me talk so much about Breath of the Wild on here. Like it's literally one of my favorite games, and it is one of the best games ever made, if not the it's in top three. I don't know. My number one favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy X. So, um, but yeah. So I'm super excited about seeing it. I'm super excited about the fact that we are now in the anniversary of my two favorite Nintendo series, Legend of Zelda and Metroid. And it's being reported that we're going to see both of those this year, that we're going to see a new Legend of Zelda and a new Metroid. Some people are don't quite have the faith to believe that it's going to happen,
I didn't even
and
say
that's so
anything. I literally didn't say anything.
actions speak louder than words.
I
But
think
anyway,
Metroid is going to come out. It'll come out.
oh, you know what? Since we're talking about Metroid, I almost responded to your shade, but I'm not going to. Since we're talking about Metroid, so Metroid Prime 4 has been getting so many new great people on it. Apparently, production has been going very quickly, which is not the least bit surprising because once again, we are in the anniversary of Metroid. So I'm going to guess, and I'm pretty sure that I'm right, that we're going to see two new Metroid games this year. One is going to be from scratch, which is most likely going to be Metroid Prime 4, and I think we're going to see um, the Metroid Prime trilogy, which people have been demanding for a long time, or I feel like we might actually get a 3D Metroid for the Switch, which will be 2D. Sorry, not 3D, 2D. So we'll actually get a 2D Metroid for the Switch. I am so excited about even the thought of seeing that. And of course, the Legend of Zelda anniversary is so exciting. I love Legend of Zelda. It is. I'm not sure which one I like more. Sometimes I feel like I like Zelda more. Sometimes I feel like I like Metroid more. I think I like Zelda more because it's more consistent than Metroid is. But as far as gameplay wise and story wise, I like Metroid more because I'm into science fiction. I'm into different planets and everything. But for the Legend of Zelda anniversary, there's been nothing official said, but a lot of people are talking about, you know, of Ocarina of Time remake or Majora's Mask, all things we would love to see. There have also been talks about Skyward Sword because the Switch is perfect um, to play Skyward Sword. So we'll see which one actually happens. Either way, this is going to be a great, great year for Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is going to do 2.5 to maybe 3 more years of support for the Switch. And I mean the whole Switch family. That includes like the Switch, the new Nintendo Switch, and then we're gonna see a new system from them. But so
Uh,
maybe around 2022, 2023, we'll see a new one.
the
But
Switch
yeah,
Elite Pro series U
Jesus,
2.
it's not funny. That's why I'm not laughing. That is mean. And we don't use "you" in reference to Switch anymore, in reference to Nintendo anymore, because there's a complicated history with that.
Wait, wasn't there? I feel like there was a console in between the Wii and the Switch. I just can't remember.
Nope, there wasn't.
Are you sure? Because there was like a gap there. That seems like should have been like a console in between.
Mm-mm. No, Nintendo just had like a little break. You know, they had like a 3 year break. That's all. They just wanted to chill a little bit. You know, that's all.
They had the what was it called? The Splatoon system. That's what it was.
I don't remember it at all. Not even a little bit. Don't remember it. I
Um,
think you're delusional.
the other thing with the new Switch, it's supposed to have a 1080p screen for the handheld mode. I think that's also the rumor, which would make sense. They're going from
Yeah.
720 to 1080. I hope
Yeah.
that they like one of the rumors that I heard was like it could have an OLED screen, but I was like, that's gonna get a little expensive for Nintendo. I was like, I don't know if they do OLED.
I don't think the OLED screen is happening.
Because if it's the rumored $400, I mean they could do it because like the Vita, technically the original PlayStation Vita had an OLED screen, so it's not like anything that hasn't been done before. And like most of the phones, like even the iPhone and a lot of the cheaper phones now have OLED screens, so they've gotten cheaper. I just don't think that Nintendo would do that. It wouldn't really matter that much. I mean, a lot of the games, unless they're going to support HDR and they want to do OLED screens or whatever, but I just don't see that really. I don't see Nintendo doing that. I don't really see it being like a meaningful difference for the Switch. And I kind of like the Switch's screen because even though it is like plastic and LCD, it's a really good screen if you drop it because it's not it's not glass, so it won't break.
Yeah.
It still scratches, but because it's a plastic screen and it's not hard, it's really difficult to break. And I don't know if they want to give that up to have like an OLED screen. Not that they couldn't like put a coating over it, but it would be more susceptible to damage. So, and it would be a lot more expensive to manufacture.
Yeah.
So I just don't see them doing that. And they've always been like cost oriented. Well, at least with their more recent systems, at least since the Wii U, because the GameCube was when they went all out and tried to do like a system that was on power wise with the systems of that generation, and it didn't really pay off. So
Nope. The GameCube flopped, which was a shame because the GameCube, like when I look back, the GameCube had some of Nintendo's best games on it. Super Smash Brothers Melee is, I would say, other than Ultimate, considered to be the best Super Smash Brothers, and I mean it laid the groundwork for Ultimate in every other Smash Brothers game. Um, Resident Evil 4, of course, the best Resident Evil of all time. Yes, people like to bring up Resident Evil 4 was also released on the PS2, but it was released much later than it was on the GameCube, and honestly, the PS2 version was trash. Because the PS2 was not a strong system in the least bit. Um, but yeah, it had those games. Then it had Beautiful Joe. I loved Beautiful Joe. There were GameCube had so many good games. I can go on about this forever, but I'm not going to.
and they had the last F-Zero game that they made.
You're gonna make me sad now.
It's so funny because F-Zero seems like it'd be such a simple concept, but every time I play like a rip-off game, it's never like as good. I'm like, how?
Never, never.
I'm like, how can nobody else make this game except for Nintendo? And I'm like, every time I'm like, oh, this might be fun. I'm like, oh wait, no, the level design isn't good, or like there's always stuff that's just not right. Like F-Zero, they need to do another F-Zero.
And since we brought up F-Zero, we're gonna do a quick little cutaway to the F-Zero music. Do 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 do. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna put it in editing or something. I don't know, but I think you know which one I'm talking about. If you don't know, I'll send it to you. But anyway, so there's been this new app that I've been using, and I don't think the app itself is that new. I think it's starting to gain more popularity, but it's called Clubhouse, and I have been enjoying this app so much. It has been such a great way to talk to I don't like to use the term celebrities because it sounds. But to talk to people who are on the inside of the industry, people who can like open doors for you, you can present your ideas to them. They can connect you with different people. Like it's such a great app to use, and I've been enjoying it so much. I'd say like in the past like week I haven't used it as much because I've had other things to work on, and it's easily one of those apps that like you'll find yourself on there for literally hours, just gathering inside information in the industry and talking to different people or whatever the different groups you're a part of. Actually, Mike, you had a Clubhouse experience, right?
Oh, you mean when I downloaded the wrong app at first, and then I had to download the right one, which is funny. I just got an email about it today. The wrong app that I downloaded, and it was like, you're gonna be downgraded to a free membership if you don't put in your credit card information. And I was like, I don't even know what this app is. I literally just downloaded the wrong app and created an account. So, but yeah, but funny enough, I did download the wrong app at first. But yeah, I've been on there. I've actually hopped into a few rooms, and just like it's really cool because I think I was listening. I forgot what the guy's name is, but he was on the show Shark Tank, and he was just kind of talking about some of the ideas and stuff that they passed on. And why. And it was just really interesting to hear from like someone's perspective that was in the industry. I think the best way, because I was thinking about it, I don't think I told you this, but like the best way I would describe the app is it's kind of like a TED talk, but it's interactive. That's literally the best way to describe it. It's like if you want to do like a TED talk, but it was a social network, that's kind of Clubhouse.
Yeah.
But like it's better because you're actually in the room and you can ask questions and whatnot and actually get to talk to people. So there's just like a bunch of powerful and influential people up there, and from all types of industries. Like one of my friends / the person that helped me buy this house, she was on there and I didn't realize it. But she's a realtor, and there's all kind of like realtor related stuff on there. as
Yeah.
well. Like everybody, like every industry's up there is really cool, and you can kind of build your network around the things that interest you. If you can get,
Mm-hmm.
if you can actually get invited to the app.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I'm actually glad that it's invitation only, and I'm also glad, and I don't mean this as offense to anybody. I promise you guys, I support people having whatever kind of phone they want to have, but I do like the fact that it's iPhone exclusive. I feel that you run into less complications that way. Maybe at some point they'll open it up to the Android market, perhaps. I don't know. But for now, I'm enjoying the fact that it's iPhone exclusive just because it feels good to have an app that's not just like Facebook, or like Twitter, where like everybody can hop on it. Then it just becomes a smorgasbord of crap, you know. Facebook was originally used by college students, and it was very different. It was a very different app than what it is now. It was very, very different. Well, I should say website because at that time I don't think apps existed. But now
it's
Facebook has just turned into
it's
something
funny when you
different.
mention that. I didn't realize it was iPhone exclusive, but it's funny when you mention that. But there is a problem with a lot of Android related apps where the quality in the app, like of the cameras and microphones, aren't as good because they have to kind of build their API for thousands of different phones.
Mm-hmm.
So where versus the iPhone, you're building the app for this set of phones. So typically, and that's a lot of things that I've heard because I haven't really been in the Android ecosystem that much, but um,
Mm-hmm.
there was this one specific guy that I watched on YouTube, and he switched from Android to iPhone for his business related stuff because he was like, that was one of the things he was like, when I record voice memos or if I take pictures like on Instagram and stuff, it's just, or upload pictures, it's just higher quality on iPhone, even though
Mm-hmm.
like camera wise, Samsung and especially Google, like the Google Pixel, the cameras are
Mm-hmm.
just as good, in some cases better than the iPhone picture quality wise, but because the apps aren't optimized for the phone, it just turns out like garbage when you upload it versus on iPhone where it's a consistent experience. So that might be one of the reasons that Clubhouse is up there because it's very dependent on having a good. You have to have a good microphone on your on your phone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that would make sense. It's probably they will put it out on Android, but it might just take a while. But I just mentioned the Samsung thing because they actually mentioned during the unboxed event that they're working with Instagram and a few other apps to have better quality pictures and stuff with the native camera app in those apps. That was actually one of the things they mentioned at their press conference. So they're aware that it's an issue and they're actually trying to work to resolve it, at least for the Samsung phones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of one of the things that plagues Android in general right now.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, hopefully it'll get out to um, Android, but I don't think it's gonna be. It doesn't need to be one of those apps that everybody has access to. I definitely agree. It's for business people. It's not for people to go up there and start a room. They have Discord and other and the other apps for people
Mm-hmm.
for regular people. But it's
Yeah.
good. It's really for people that are trying to build a business, um, or even like for me doing my YouTube stuff, which I need to get up there more. I just been really busy.
Yeah, there's a lot of like podcasty McNasties that you can follow on there. Like, I feel like, um, you know, it'll be such a good way to meet other podcasters. You know what I mean? And we can really like start talking to different people for both your personal channel and also, for our podcast. Just to sort of, get ourselves out there a little bit more. And talk to more people and people who may have more experience or whatever. So I my, how can I say this? Oh, I know. So I was looking at my calendar earlier, and I noticed that a very important day passed a few days ago, and it was the day that actually my best friend, he and I have been best friends for about 7 years now, 6 7 years, but and yes, it's he actually just turned 32, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he just turned 32. Actually, yeah, his name is Mike. Well, I call him Mike, but his name is Michael Robertson.
That's
Yeah.
very similar to my name, but I just turned 22, so I didn't realize you had like multiple friends with the same name.
Oh no 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 no! It's you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's you. Yeah.
Oh, I think you got the age wrong. It was 22.
Uh, no, I'm pretty sure it was 32 because you weren't born 1999.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you weren't.
No, I was.
No.
I literally just started drinking like a year ago.
Ooh. The delusion in this one is strong, everybody.
I'm not gonna be shaded so close to my 21st birthday.
Can't even keep his lies straight. He said he just turned 22 and now he's talking about his 21st birthday. You see who this is? You see what kind of person this is? Mm-mm-mm. Shame. Shame. You are being shamed right now, dear sir. Shame.
All right, whatever. I guess it was my birthday, but I don't know. I just wasn't about to sit here and celebrate being 32 because there's nothing to celebrate except for like it's not bad. It's just not like a. I think it's funny because after a certain age, you run out of milestone birthdays. I think like 25. Well, 30 is kind of a big deal, but like by the time I got 30, I was like, I already been 30 for like 3 years before that, so it didn't really matter.
I literally feel you on that. I sometimes feel like I'm already in my 30s, and luckily I'm not far away from that. I still have like 10 more years, but yeah,
More like two. Anyway, um,
I'm shocked that he would even say that. Honestly, I'm shocked.
but you know what else? What else is happening this month aside from my birthday? We have our new president taking office, and
Woo!
I hope, like I think I said in the last episode, but I hope everybody got out there and voted and their opinion was heard. Um, but yeah, I don't want to get too shady on the podcast about the
Yeah,
election.
honestly,
Um,
it's especially when it comes to politics.
yeah, but there are certain people that I definitely didn't want to win. I will say that, and I'm glad that that person will no longer be in office. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I didn't want Trump to win, and it's nothing to do with the political party. I just feel like he just wasn't a good person. Like it wouldn't have mattered if Trump was a Democrat. I would have literally voted for the opposite. I would have voted for Republican just to get him out of office. It was just like as soon as I found out he was running the last time, I was like, this guy's. I already knew he was an idiot. Like if you knew anything about Donald Trump, you knew he was kind of an idiot. Like it's not. It's nothing to do with. It's really nothing to do with the party. It's just like Donald Trump was the worst person to be in office. It wouldn't have mattered if he was a Democrat, a Libertarian. It didn't matter which party he ran under. He was terrible. So I'm
Yeah,
glad that he's gone. I'm just gonna be upfront. Like I mean, if you voted for him, you might be offended, but I don't care. He was an idiot.
yeah, we just want to specify we do not endorse parties on this channel. I mean, Mike and I are even two different parties. I'm not sure if Mike is part of any party, but I am a libertarian. I can vote either way. I find that some of my values happen to be very Republican, and some of my values happen to be very Democratic. I mean, people should have the right to marry whoever they want to marry as long as it's the both parties are of legal age. I don't, yeah. But yeah, so we don't endorse a particular channel on here. We just endorse, positivity and freedom and all that, freedomarts.com. That's arts with a Z. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
and
yeah, yeah.
the reason I said something about Trump is because there's some people I have friends that voted for him or whatever. It's fine, but as a gay black person, I was not. I wanted him out of office. After all the stuff that happened, the way that he just handled the situations with like Black Lives Matter and all that, the way that he handled it by not handling it, like I've just never seen a president that just doesn't acknowledge any kind of social issues one way or the other, and just kind of like blames everybody else for everything. And I think that if you were in a minority or in the LGBT community, you probably a good chance. There's probably a good chance that you felt like your rights were like either violated or you were not being heard, and that was the main reason I wanted him gone. Like he just there's no like even Bush was a Republican, and I respect Bush. He had to deal with the whole Katrina thing. He had to deal with 9/11. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people had issues with the way that he handled it, but he did come out and handle it professionally.
Mm-hmm.
This president did not. There was nothing that he ever addressed like professionally, or
Mm-hmm.
he was always on Twitter or just like pushing stuff under the rug. Like I said, that was my main issue. That's why, honestly, it's not a party thing. It's just literally like he was literally the worst person to lead the country ever. Like in my opinion, he just didn't have a stance. Like really just didn't have a stance on anything. He just kind of swept everything under the rug and blamed other people. Or was just be like, oh, well, the Secretary of Defense should have handled that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. That was my biggest issue. So sorry for the people who voted for Trump that I'm bitching about him on the podcast, but I'm just being real.
Yeah, I also
He had
do
to
want to
go.
say that side note that when Bush first got into office, he was super hot. Just saying. Um, I mean, hey, the man was very presidential. Anyway, so it is a new year, guys. We are so excited. 2021. Woo 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 woo. I think this year is going to be everything that 2020 could have been if we had not had that bitch Corona. Um, I it's so funny because like I have such mixed feelings about Corona, COVID, whatever you want to call it. Um, you know, obviously I hate it. I think it's horrible, and so many lives have been lost and changed and everything due to it. But I am also a person who believes in the saying that everything happens for a reason. And so I love the fact that COVID has pushed a lot of people into the right places in their life and pushed a lot of us out of things that we shouldn't have been in anymore, shouldn't have been doing, things we were unhappy with, whatever, however you want to put it. And so, I feel like 2021 is it was like 2020 was like the reset that we needed. Like when you press reset on a video game, like 2020 was like the world's way of just being like, ooh, reset. And so now we're like starting over at the beginning of the game, and like we're like pressing start and everything and getting ready to, pull out our little hyper beam. Oh, wait a minute. I'm making a huge Metroid reference. Sorry. Um, yeah, guys, Metroid Prime 4 coming out later on this year. Just want to say that again. But yeah, um, you know, I am super excited. I have so many goals for this year, and I'm gonna just state some of them. I know some people are gonna look at me like super crazy, like, bitch, how are you gonna achieve this? But believe me, I've achieved crazier things in smaller amounts of time. So, one of my big goals for this year is to start my tour for my books. I have a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now that I can't necessarily talk about. But, there are things that are going to lead me to some very great places. And so I've been focusing very heavily on my books, on getting a job as a casting director and everything. And one of my biggest goals this year is to have my dream car. And even as I'm talking about it right now, I feel myself just getting so excited on the inside. But is to have my dream car, which is a Tesla. I want to have my Tesla this year. I feel like it's going to happen, and it ain't gonna be the cheap Tesla. I mean, all Teslas are great, but the one that I want is 98. I think it's like 98,000. Um, I want that thing so bad, and I'm going to have it. I want my Tesla. Why did you make that face when I said Tesla? You shady motherfucker.
First of all, that's literally only like 50,000 less than my house. Second of all, as a gay in California, there are certain things, certain stereotypes when it comes to cars that, you just happen to fall into. So I didn't want to see you fall into those same stereotypes. I was thinking maybe that you can get like a Ford or something. Um, After it's done during this initial phase of shedding, where the stuff, like the buttons and stuff fall off, it's not too bad.
Why would I get something it has literally the acronyms that mean found on the road dead?
First of all, my Ford has only let me down like 12 or 13 times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after I finally got new tires because the ones that came with it were garbage, and then the stereo broke, and I had to have the whole touchscreen replaced. And then the AC keeps breaking. Well, it doesn't break, but it does this weird clicking sound. And now I just live with it because I already had to fix 3 times under warranty. After I got past all that stuff, it's been a good
Jesus.
car. It's been a good car.
Mm. I'll stick with my Tesla because a Tesla fits me. It fits who I am. It's not gonna break down on me. Like, that's my car, man. I love it. I know it every time I see it. I'm like, this is it. This Tesla and me, we go together like. I don't like the saying like white on rice because white rice is not healthy. We go together like brown rice, brown on rice. Brown rice is good. It is loaded with nutrients. I'm telling you, I've been eating it like almost every day. Well, for the most part. Anyway, yeah, so that's one of my big goals. The Tesla, the books, the casting, directing, all that stuff. And then it's also just to move, which should be doing in a few months, into a place that's a little more private, where I have a little more space on my own. Um, so yeah, those are my like big goals this year. Um, and there's other, of course, smaller goals like get this new Nintendo Switch, which I'm getting that. Getting Metroid Prime 4 and all that stuff. But yeah, what about you?
Well, the big thing for me this year, if everything lines up, I should finally be over that 1,000 mark for the channel as far as subscribers. Like I said, it's not the main focus. It's just like I can finally monetize
Mm-hmm.
at that point. So that's gonna be a big thing. That's not really a goal, but I'm just like projecting that that'll probably happen this year. I want to
Mm-hmm.
get a new camera. I think um, my GH4 has served me really well, but I really want to. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to get a GH 5S or if I want to go with like a Black Magic Pocket Cam. Or if I want to go with something completely different, I'm actually thinking about going with like one of the Sony A series cameras because I want,
Mm-hmm.
um, for one, those are full frame, and then Sony has really good autofocus,
Mm-hmm.
so I can still use my GH4 for like a secondary angle, and then maybe have the Sony for my primary one, where I don't have to worry about the focus, because that's been a big thing for me. That's really, if there
Mm-hmm.
was one thing that I don't, that's kind of a pain right now,
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't been able to alleviate, is having to set the focus each and
Mm-hmm.
every time I record a video, because I can't trust the autofocus on the GH4, and the few times I have, it's just turned out disastrously. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, typically with my videos, I literally have to go into my phone and connect it over Wi-Fi to the camera, and then set my focus remotely, then
Mm-hmm.
disconnect the phone because I can't have Wi-Fi and HDMI going or HDMI out on at the same time for my monitor. I can, but the camera just works extremely slow. So it's like a pain. It's literally a pain to deal with like the focus issues. And then sometimes if I'm just shooting like the IKEA struggles video or something like that, I have to shoot it on my phone because the autofocus. If I need something with good autofocus, I use my phone. So I really like to have a full frame main camera, which the GH5 and 5S are not full frame. I would have to get like the Panasonic S1 or S1R
Mm-hmm.
if I was gonna get a Panasonic equivalent. But I want a full frame camera that has a good autofocus. So I might actually go with like, I'm thinking possibly going with the Sony series, but we'll see. That's if I come across some extra money to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. That's my main thing. It's just improving that quality, and I don't know, coming up with some new video ideas. And like I said, I want to do live streaming more often once I come up with a good concept, and do a new intro song
Mm-hmm.
for the live stream, because that's something I have to do
Mm-hmm.
for no reason. because I just like making new intro songs, so I have to do that first.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much my goal, and of course I gotta keep focusing on losing weight because I've probably gained like 20 pounds since November at least.
Oh my god. Oh, since November, I feel like I have. When I weighed myself back in November, I've lost since November. I've lost like 7 pounds, but let me tell you something. It hasn't been easy. A big thing I've been doing out here in California. I was working out mostly every day in Baltimore, but I don't know, for some reason my body was just not feeling that place. But I mean, I love Maryland. It's great. It's wonderful. Move there, please. But since I've been in California, I have felt much more motivated to work out every day because the weather is wonderful. And, people in California have beautiful bodies. And I love looking at it. And I'm saying that in a way of saying I find all body types beautiful. You can be a bigger, thicker person and still work out. And it creates a nice little, beautiful definition to your body. So, yeah, I've been going hiking a lot since I've been here. I've just been doing so many things that I feel like I just did not do as often in the other places I've lived. So, like, just being out here is a lot of motivation to keep myself in shape, to keep myself healthy. I live with, like, some of the people I live with are vegetarians. And even though I'm not a vegetarian, I've definitely increased my intake of vegetables because vegetables in California are literally $1. It is the craziest thing in the world. And it makes me so excited because I've always liked vegetables. So to be able to eat them in like massive amounts now is totally cool. But I say
Yeah,
all, yeah.
I was gonna say I've actually been doing the Apple Fitness Plus. Well, the funny thing is I've gained 20 pounds, but I literally run 5 days. Like I've ran 5 days a week for the last like year. So
Hmm.
because from me not actually going to work and like not taking the stairs every day like I used to, plus
Hmm.
working out, that's I've literally been gaining weight even while running. Like as far as like my running shape, I'm still in good shape. Like
Hmm.
um, I still run at least like 3 miles every day. But it's funny. It's like this is the first time I've like exercised regularly and still gain weight. like it, but that's like I think that's just a part of getting older. Cause like before,
Yeah. Oh, it is.
yeah, like before I was in my 20s, all I had to do was exercise. Like if I exercised like 30 minutes 2 times a
Hmm.
week, I would be like losing weight and eating
Hmm.
whatever I want to. But now it's like, oh, I gotta work a lot harder. But before I got sick in November, I wasn't coronavirus or anything. I always get sick towards the end of November and the into December, and it's always like the same thing happens where I'll get a bad cold, and then it'll start to go away, and then towards the end of it, I'll get another cold, and it pretty much lasts like almost the whole month, like from the end of December to like the end of November to the end of December, and that
Hmm.
happened again. But before that, I was doing like 6 miles a day because I was running during my breaks at work. I would run a mile during each break, and then I would do like 3 miles after. And
Hmm.
then, of course, I stopped doing that when I got sick. So I was just doing like my normal. I just went back to doing 3 miles a day, and then plus I stopped watching what I was eating, which
Hmm.
hasn't helped at all. So it was that combination. So I've actually still been exercising. It's just like for one, I haven't been watching what I was eating, and then I was doing less exercise. Like I cut my exercise in half because
Yeah.
I got sick. So now I'm just trying to get back into the groove of
Yeah,
everything.
we gotta get you eating more vegetables, you know? I want you to enjoy all the leafy greenery of the world because it's so wonderful. I know I sound crazy to you right now, guys, but I promise you, California has already. I won't even say. I don't like to use the word change. It has changed me, but it's helped me come into like who I've always been, And so I've always been a person like I don't like seeing people eat super sloppy. It literally like irritates me. Like I'm just like, ah, pigs, you know. But of course, I have my cheat days too. I love pizza. I can eat pizza any day, all day. Um, but
Yeah, I've been
yeah,
eating a lot of frozen stuff. You know,
uh, that makes sense. Mm, that is not the healthiest, the healthiest thing that you should be
well, no,
eating.
I eat like I do a lot of instant pot stuff just because it's easier. So what I'll do is I'll get like frozen chicken breast and then I'll throw it in there with like some corn and some black beans, and then I'll cook rice with it and I'll do like burritos that way. So I just get like frozen corn and then black beans and stuff, and I throw it over the taco seasoning, the chicken, and I just make chicken burritos. Or I also do that
Sounds
with
so good.
nachos as well. But that's why I just typically buy frozen vegetables because I usually I pretty much cook everything either in the air fryer or the instant pot. So that's why I buy like a lot of frozen stuff.
Oh, okay. I understand now. I get you.
But yeah, but they're having a lot of days where we've just been like, well, we're just gonna order Chanello's, which is a ghetto pizza. It's a ghetto pizza place in Virginia. If y'all haven't heard of it, I think it's regional. I'm pretty sure it's regional.
Is it? You
Um,
know what? I think we had a Chanelo's in Florida. I'm not sure if Virginia
I,
was my first time going to Chanelo's or not. I can't
I
remember.
feel like it's like one. I feel like it's kind of like Food Lion, where it's like a southeast thing, like a southeast region thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been like Chanello's, and then unfortunately Taco Bell has been creeping in a lot more. So I
I've had
think,
Taco Bell one time since I've been in California. Crazy.
but yeah, I think there's other aspects of my life which I'm not going to get into in the podcast. But there's other things in my life that need to change. Um, and I just think I just haven't been in a good headspace. Like outside of the YouTube channel, which everything, like I said, it has slowed down, but I've been
Mm-hmm.
pretty much happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just other aspects of my life. You know what's been going on with other aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you.
That I just haven't been. I've been extremely unhappy with lately. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail in case people from the other aspects of my life are listening. Um, but once once those things are ironed out, I'll be in a much better place, and they should be ironed out very soon.
Oh, they're gonna get ironed out, all right. Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah. So, that basically brings us to a wrap. Um, as far as all of our big 2021 goals, you guys send us some comments. Let us know what some of your 2021 goals are. And, stick with them. A lot of times people make these like goals and they don't stick with them or blah, 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 blah. But if coronavirus has taught you anything, it's that life is short. Like, you can like walk outside and just like drop dead. So, seize the day. Carpe diem, baby. In order to help Mike achieve one of his goals, which is, some of that more freedom from in certain aspects of his life. What we should do is, do a little shout out for your channel and do all your stuff, so you can get you more subscribers and start monetizing stuff. So I'll hand it over to you.
All right. Well, you know where I be, and I be at. Oh, that was that horrible sentence. You know where I be. I be at youtube.com/Mike Texts It Out, where every Sunday and Wednesday I'm always coming with the tech news. I also do reviews, unboxing, and then just generally I just like to hang out and talk about stuff. And sometimes I'll even tell you how to find difficult to find items like graphics cards or these headphones, which are literally sold out when I bought them. So it's just, if you want your deals, your tech deals or where to find stuff at, I got the secrets. Hit me up on Twitter and Mike Text It Out. And I have I also have a Facebook page. That's that. I'm sorry. It exists.
It, eh. Yeah. As for me, you guys know where to find me. You can always find me at freedomarts.com. Again, that is freedomarts.com. That's freedomartz.com. Go there, explore my site a little bit, check out some books, You can also find me on Instagram since I'm finally starting to use that more because everybody in LA uses Instagram. I'm like, I guess. So, my Instagram is at Dijon Mac because I'm the Mac Daddy. That was the best time I've ever said it. But and you can also find me on Twitter at you'll see it down below. I can't remember what my Twitter tag is. You can also find us on Twitter at DMMRP. And yeah, I think that's all the places you can find me. Or if you get really bored or you're like don't know what else to do, just literally Google my name and all my shit will pop up. Like literally. Just Google like Dijon McIntyre, and you'll see like my books, my Twitter. Well, maybe my Twitter. I don't know. My acting stuff will pop up, all that stuff. So yeah, I would hope that we get a chance to hear from you guys. Email us, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for anyone who took the time to watch this. I apologize that we took such a long break of doing our videos together. I was honestly getting settled in LA. It's been so much to like move all the way across the country where you have basically no family, and so I really had to do everything myself, you know what I mean? And of course, I had the help of God, but that was it. Like, I didn't really have anyone really helping me. I'm just like settling in by myself and everything. So it's been a lot and everything, but it's been worth it. Now I'm getting back on the ball, getting ready to do all my stuff. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching us. I appreciate it so much.
All right, and with that being said, this brings an end to this episode of the podcast. And don't forget, you can also find the audio version on iTunes, Spotify, and on SoundCloud. And we're on Stitcher as well. I almost forgot Stitcher. But yeah, if you want to just listen to this, check out that. Of course, we're on YouTube if you want to watch the video version. And until next time, stay peachy keen. I feel like I had to end the episode in a wholesome way.
Yeah, we did use a lot of profanity, huh?
Yeah. That shit was
also, don't forget, buy your copy of the Nintendo Switch. And, yeah, I just want to throw that out there because they have a new Nintendo Switch that's coming out that's going to be like a Mario edition. It's super cute. It's red and blue. Just had to put that out there real quick. So, yeah, stay safe, wear your mask, sanitize, walk in love, and see you next time.
All right, from VA to LA, we are out.
Yeah, adios, amigos.
That was so good. You see how I did that VA to LA in there? Like, why didn't go like that?